Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. We've got so much new Catrice products to try. I'm so excited about this. They've launched so many new things, so I've gathered all the ones that I felt like I wanted to try, things that I think you guys would be interested in seeing in a video demo reviewed. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to share with you my thoughts. I'm going to apply the products as I always do, give you my thoughts and opinions, tell you if I think it's actually worth it. So if you want to see these products, then let's go ahead and jump right on in. Starting things off, I'm going to use a new product that I've already reviewed. This came out probably a few weeks back. It's the Aqua Grip Primer. This is one of the grippy type of primers that I actually like. I'm not a huge fan of them personally, I haven't tried many from the drugstore that I like besides the e.l.f. one. And this one's actually really nice. It has like a little bit of a bluish tint to it, kind of like a jelly consistency, but once you blend this in, it actually kind of looks clear. So I'm going to blend this right in. Ooh, and this smells kind of sweet, slightly kind of like a watermelon scent. It's not too bad, but I'm going to use this to kind of give myself a nice base and a nice primed skin before going in with foundation. I like this primer because it does have that stickiness and that grip that you expect from gripping primers, but it is very easy to blend. Feels really soft, really smooth, and it doesn't pull and tug at the skin as other grippy primers that are too sticky. This one just kind of glides very easily where you can really get it evenly applied. So I do like it, and I do think it grips really nicely as well. And then once you're done blending this in, you can kind of see a little bit that it has that kind of sticky, tacky feel, which is great because your makeup is just going to be locked into this and it's not going to stay on. So there are some benefits to having a grippy primer, especially if you want your makeup to last 8+ hours. I think it's a good idea to look into them. And this one so far is my favorite from the drugstore, aside from the original gripping primer from e.l.f. This is actually a very good one. While I was browsing the site, I figured I might as well go ahead and add some extra products to my order that I was interested in trying. And one of the products that I bought was actually a foundation product. It's the Tinted Serum Foundation with hyaluronic acid and vitamin E. It's the New Drop Tinted Serum. It looks like this. This has been out for quite some time. The last time I did a one brand on Catrice, I actually used the True Skin Foundation. I believe that's what it's called. And I have another one of theirs, the HD one, that kind of has a dropper form like this. But this is supposed to be more skincare based, so I thought I'd give it a try. I was already placing an order online, so I thought, why not try it? Give it a good shake. The shade that I ordered is 004N, so I hope that this is going to be the right match. Sometimes matching online can be hit or miss. I know I have done a terrible job in the past, but let's just hope that it actually works out today. And it says shake well, so let's give it a good shake to make sure everything is incorporated. Some people may like to go in and just do with a dropper. I don't mind doing that. However, I don't like to touch the dropper on my face just for hygienic reasons. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to drop it onto my brush. But if you do that, just keep doing what you do. It's just me that I don't like to touch the droppers against my skin. Okay, so we're going to blend this in. So far, so good with the BK Beauty 106 brush. Just kind of working it into the brush, using the back of my hand as a palette. But so far, I think the match is okay. I think it might be just a hair light, but I'd rather it be a little light than too dark because we can always add bronzer. We can always add extra products. You know what? I just realized I forgot to use one of their other new products. So I'm going to use that other product across the forehead and then we'll come back to the serum. I'm going to finish blending this side first. But so far, that actually looks incredibly beautiful. It still has that skin-like finish. It's covered everything. I still have just tiny little imperfections. If you get really close and you're really trying to be like critical about it, you'll see it. But from a distance, it just perfected the skin. There is a slight glow, but just because of the skincare benefits, but it's not too oily looking. It's not too greasy. It blended out beautifully over the gripping primer. And I'm a fan. I feel like this is going to be a really nice serum-based foundation for me to use. Now, the product that I forgot to use first, which I think would have been a nice base, is the Soft Glam Filter Sticks. I picked up two shades. One shade in the Fair Light number 10, and then shade 065 Tan. I was hoping to use this kind of like a bronzer, so I'll use that tan shade separately after we finish blending in the foundation. But this is supposed to be basically their Soft Glam liquid highlighter that they have that's very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter, but now in a stick form. And yes, Charlotte Tilbury has something very similar as well. So I feel like they took inspo from the brand to create this product. So this is what the packaging looks like. That is the shade Fair Light. And let's go ahead and swatch this on the back of my hand. It's very soft, very creamy, has a subtle kind of tint to it, but it's going to give you a little bit of glow. So when you blend this out, this does feel quite creamy, slightly emollient, not super greasy, but you feel that kind of balminess to it. It blended out really nicely. It gave a really nice kind of healthy look to the back of my hand. I'll use this shade across my entire forehead, and I'm going to switch to a different brush just so we can see what the coverage is like for this. And I wiped off my brush from yesterday really well, and I'm going to blend this in. And so far it looks to have a very sheer type of coverage. Okay, so you see it gave me a little bit of glow, but it is quite sheer and it looks really pretty. It made the skin look healthy, almost as if I had just done my skincare routine and just put on my serums and moisturizers. It doesn't feel super greasy, like it's gonna slip and slide around. Now, I'm not sure how this would work for someone with very oily skin. You may wanna use this maybe just as a highlighter possibly, but I think that for most skin types, this would be okay. I do like that soft glow. It blended out beautifully. There's no streaks. It didn't get kind of weird. It didn't pill with anything underneath. So I do think it's really pretty. And I think I would use this in the future as a glowy base to a foundation. So maybe something that's more satin to matte, just to kind of amp up a little bit more glow. I think I would use this. And also on those days where I don't want to put foundation on and just use this, maybe just concealer under the eyes. Okay, so I've taken 1 drop of the tinted serum over the glow booster stick that I just applied on my forehead. Blended out really nicely. I do feel like there is a little bit more glow on the forehead, and I think it's just because this product is underneath this serum. Let's go into the other shade of the Soft Glam Filter Stick in the shade Tan, which is number 065, and that is the tone of that. Definitely has much more pigment than the other shade, and it's still just as creamy. I think this is going to be really nice as a base to a powder bronzer. So I'm gonna just take a little bit of this, and we're gonna start around the forehead. And I'm gonna use, let's just use that same foundation brush that I used earlier. And just kind of blend this out. And it blends out very, very quickly, as you saw there. Simple, easy. It's just gonna give a hint of color. So if you want something that's gonna give you a little bit of glow, plus a little bit of a tint, you can use this all over and just blend it in with your fingers or a brush. Or if you want a bronzer, but you also don't want it to be too pigmented or too intense, you may actually enjoy this. But for me, I would probably use this as a base to my powder, so kind of like a layering technique. But this is actually really pretty. Again, no complaints. It's the same exact formula as the other shade, but just a little bit deeper. So I'm a fan. I'm going to take this a little bit higher up on the tops of the cheekbone. Again, same brush, which is the It Cosmetics brush. And I'm just going to blend this out. Yeah, that's nice. And I also really appreciate how the glow is very soft, very light ethereal. It's not super luminous, it's not metallic, it's not glittery. And I feel like they did that so that it appeals to a lot of people, because not everybody likes glitter or shimmer in their makeup products, at least their base complexion. Some people do. But to appeal to everyone, I feel like they did a good job with the right amount of glow. It's just very, very soft. And when you get really close, you don't really see any specks of shimmer. You really don't. It just looks healthy. So I'm a big, big fan so far. And now I don't need to spend Charlotte Tilbury money to get hers, because this is probably the exact same thing. I'm going to go in with another new product from Catrice. This is actually a multi-stick. This is the Blushing Charm, and it's supposed to be something that you can use on the eyes, lips, and the cheeks, so kind of like a monochromatic moment. I picked up 1 shade in the color called Radiant Honey, number 050. And let me swatch that right next to the Glow Booster stick. So that is the Radiant Honey type shade. It's a little bit softer, a little bit kind of mauve-y with a hint of rose, but it's not as bright. And I almost went with one of the brighter shades, but I thought let's try something different, because I always go for bright pinks or corals. So let's do something a little bit different, but still within my comfort zone. So let's go ahead and try this out. And I think I'm gonna use a brush. So I'm just gonna do some little swipes like this. And then I'm gonna go in with one of my brushes from Rem Beauty. It's one of the angled ones. And I'm going to blend this out. That's pretty. It's light. It's a little bit more on the sheer side once it's blended out. I feel like it's going to be something that you would want to layer possibly. And just kind of build this up, or kind of swipe your brush across the actual product. Okay, so building it up is actually showing up a little bit more, and that's blending out really nicely. So this is the Radiant Honey multi-stick blended over the bronzer, and the Serum Foundation. I think it looks pretty, it's healthy, it looks like it's blended really nicely, didn't disrupt anything underneath. So this is a win as well. Way to go, Catrice. So far, everything has been great. I don't have anything negative to say about anything just yet. I'm going to add some more powder products because this is a little bit more radiant and dewy than I personally want. And they also have new concealers. It's the Instant Bright Serum Concealer with medium coverage. And on the cap, it has a sticker that says 18-hour long lasting. I probably won't be wearing this for 18 hours, but it's good to know that it's supposed to last a long time. On the packaging, it also says with niacinamide and hyaluronic acid. So again, one of those products that have some skincare benefits infused to it. So I think that's a bonus, not necessarily something that I have to have, but I like seeing that in my products. And the shade that I ordered is 002N. And again, I'm hoping that I did myself a pretty decent match here. I like the applicator. The applicator is a doe foot, but it is quite long. If I can get the camera to focus, you see that's the back end. And then here is the applicator. So it's a doe foot, but it's long and a little bit more narrow, kind of like a skinnier doe foot with a little bit of flexibility and bend to it. So let's go ahead and do one side. Ooh, that looks a little light. It's okay. It's okay. No biggie. We're gonna make it work. And I think for this, I'm gonna go in with a brush first, and I'm just gonna tap this in to retain that coverage, and I may come in with a sponge depending on how this looks, but okay, that's doable. That's okay. It's a little bright, but it's not as bad. I feel like once it's blended, it's okay. I didn't do that bad of a job. This is the side with the Serum Concealer blended in with a brush and then nothing here. And I do like it. I actually think it looks good. Yeah. I mean, I do get a little bit of creasing, but I'm not going to knock this product because I do get creasing with pretty much every concealer, and it happens to a lot of us. So I feel like once I set this, it's going to be fine. But as far as the coverage, I would say it's a good solid medium coverage as it stated on the packaging. It blended out with ease with this brush. It looks really nice. It looks hydrating, but it's not too glossy. It's not too wet. It does feel a little bit more emollient to the touch. But looking at it, it's not too glossy and too wet. But when you touch it, you do feel there is some moisture. There's no streaks from my brush. And I do have a dry patch right in here. I don't know what's going on. It's just patch right here on this eye only, but nothing else on the other side. It's the only dry patch on my skin all over my face. So it doesn't look the best there, but of course the texture of my skin underneath is dry, kind of rough and scaly. I have no idea what's the deal with that. So let me just try to tap right over that and see if I can get that to look a little bit better, maybe with a sponge. And considering that I do have some roughness right in that spot, right at the base of my lashes here, it doesn't look that bad. Honestly, if I set it, you probably wouldn't even see it. Maybe the camera's not even picking it up, but it's there. And I'm gonna point it out because I'm gonna just be honest with how this looks. If you put any product over textured skin, flaky skin, rough skin, anything that's like eczema or a rash, it's not gonna look good. No matter what you do, it's just not gonna look right. So I'm impressed that it actually blended out nicely. I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. Let's add a little bit more and see what happens on this side. But I am still impressed with this foundation and the products. The concealer's looking nice. I'm so happy and thrilled that these are all working out. I think that concealer looks really, really nice. Very pretty on the skin. It's not too drying. It's not too wet. It's not too greasy, too emollient. I think this would be great for many different skin types. Even if you have oily skin, I think you will like this. If you want skincare benefits to your concealer that you're putting on the under eye, maybe not an ideal option to do some concealing on the face if you have combination oily skin or very oily skin. You may not like how hydrating this is, but under the eyes, it's beautiful. I am going to set my under eye area with one of my go-to powders, and you probably already guessed which one it's going to be. The Infallible Blurfection powders from L'Oreal. They never disappoint. It's my absolute favorite loose powder at the drugstore. I've already set my under eye area with the Blurfection powder. I actually use the soft pink, and I set my T-zone with that and also the under eyes, and it's looking really nice. And now it doesn't feel too wet. It doesn't feel too hydrating. I feel like it's just the perfect amount of hydration in that concealer. With that powder, I think this is going to wear so well throughout the day. Now, for those powder products for bronzer and blush, I'm going to go in with my go-to from the drugstore, my favorite. It's the Infallible Bronzer from L'Oreal. And yes, I did break my cap, and I'm not happy about it. Let's not talk about that. Let's not talk about that. So I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is just one of my favorites from the Ulta Beauty collection, the 144. And I'm just going to do a light dusting to kind of set those stick products, especially the Glow Booster sticks, the tan shade that I use as a bronzer. So I'm just going to tap just ever so slightly all over, just a little bit. And then I thought it would be a good idea to use a Catrice blush to set this multi-stick that I used, the Radiant Honey shade. And I went through my collection and I remember that I had these duos. These are the Blush Affair duos. So you have a cream and a powder blush. They're both the same shade, so you can do one or both layered together. And I feel like the Peach Passion number 040 is probably going to be a good match, the powder one, to go over that Radiant Honey. Now these are beautiful. I actually really do enjoy this formula. I think it's a really well done blush in a powder form and also in a cream where it's not too greasy. It's just right. And I feel like their formulas are so good. If you haven't tried anything from Catrice, you should. I feel like their formulas are really kind of top notch, like top shelf, especially like this blush. Look at that. Stunning. Absolutely beautiful. And they're very, very affordable. They're not that expensive. I love this. And I'm using, by the way, a Morphe M201. This is a powder blush. Actually, no, it's a powder brush, not a powder blush brush. Whoa. Powder brush. It's actually very good for blush steps. The final step for my base complexion today is just a little bit of highlighter, and I bought 2 shades to try out, 2 different highlighters actually. So let's start with the first one. It's the Diamond Haze highlighter that looks like this. And let's just take a moment for this packaging. I think it's adorable. And I also like how there is like a glittery kind of iridescent look to the packaging. Do you see when I turn it and how it catches the light? How cool is that? And this is the shade number 010, Gimme Glitter. So I wonder if this is going to be similar to the Fenty one. I also have one from Stila that I bought thinking that it was similar to the Fenty one that is kind of balmy and kind of like a putty type. Not balmy, it's a putty type formula, but this is supposed to be very similar to that. Let's go. It feels... Okay, this is cool. This is very, very cool. It feels like a putty. Like when you push it, you will probably put an indentation into it. How cool is that? And it's creamy. Oh, I could stay here all day playing with this. Okay, that is very cool. I feel like my mind is always blown with makeup because I just love it so much. But that's what that looks like. That's the Diamond Haze. It's a little bit of like an icy kind of white, almost silvery look to it. But do you see that? Oh, it's so pretty. And you do see little specks, not big pieces, not big chunks or jagged edges to the glitter. It's very, very soft. And then the other one was a last minute addition to my order because honestly the packaging just looks really pretty. The whole collection looks very ethereal and soft. I forget the name of the collection, but I'll link to this below. And this is the packaging on that highlighter. It's the Pearlfection Highlighter in Shell Yeah number 02. Look at that. It has like an iridescence look to it. When you turn it, you may not be able to see it, but it's just so pretty. Has like a purple iridescent shift to it. Really, really nice. I think this was available in 2 shades, and it looks like that on the inside. Show you up a little bit closer there. Show you what that looks like. Whoa. What? Okay, so when you swatch it, it's not as intense as it looked on my finger, which is nice. I do like that. But when you soften this out, it gives you just the prettiest glow. Do you see that when the light catches my hand? It just looks radiant. It looks glowy, luminous, but there's not a lot of glitter pieces. It's very smooth, and it does feel like a baked formula. So I'm excited to try that. So what I'm going to do is one on each side, and then we'll mix it to look even so that we're not looking crazy. So let's do the Diamond Haze on my right side. I'm going to use my finger just to kind of pat this in. Stop. Oh, how cool. Now, I don't know if I would actually wear this. Whoa, that's a lot of glitter. I don't know if I would wear this every single day. I feel like there's definitely a time and a place. And today is the time and the place, by the way, to do it. We're reviewing products, but I don't know if I would reach for this every single day for a highlight. Do you know what this would be good for? To use on the eyes. That would be a really nice sort of glitter topper that you can use with any other eyeshadow, any crease color. It's going to last you forever if you buy this product for that purpose because it's actually a pretty big compact. I don't think I'll ever be able to finish that. And it actually almost matches my nails. My nails are like a soft baby pink with a blue, like an icy blue shift. and really fine holographic glitters in it. It's from Lights Lacquer. I will link to it below. It's really nice. And the creator is also a content creator of videos on YouTube, but she also created her own nail polish line. It's Kathleen Lights, by the way. And I have several of her colors, and they're just beautiful. So it kind of almost looks like my nails a little bit, right? So cool. I'm going to use my fingers, because I'm already here, why not, to apply this one. Ooh, this is pretty. You can see that kind of pinkiness that it has, but this formula definitely meshes more into the skin than something like this. This is going to sit on the skin. You will see the specks, and you could probably definitely, my viewfinder is showing it. It's a lot. I'm going to tone it down and blend this out, but I wanted to show you what that looks like. This is going to be a little bit softer, more kind of one with the skin, but you will still see quite a bit of highlight. So it's two totally different options. Let's do a little bit of this one on the tip of the nose and down the nose, the bridge of the nose. Take a little bit on that Cupid's bow, why not? Which one did you enjoy more, the more baked highlighter or the glitter one? Let's move on to the lip combo and see what that turns out to look like before we do anything with the eyes, just to make sure everything is cohesive and goes well. I have a few products for lips that I'm excited to try. The first one is the Lip Artist. This is a matte lipstick and lip liner. I like this. I think this is a genius idea because you have the lipstick on one end and then your liner on the other. Yes, it's one product knocking out two steps. It's definitely something up my alley as a stay-at-home mom of 4 kids. Something like this is just easy for every day. I line and then turn this sucker around, fill in my lips with the lipstick, and go on about my business. I love this. I picked one shade, and it's number 10, Always Together. And then I also have the Diamond Glaze Lip Gloss. Wait until you see this. I picked one shade. I had to kind of resist. Diamonds Made Me Do It, which is such a cute name. But look at this. This is a glitter gloss. Do you see that? Oh my gosh. I cannot wait to put this on. Okay, we're gonna get to it. We're getting to it. The next product is the Glass Like Dewy Lip Tint. I picked one shade as well in this formula to try out. Happy lips, happy life. So true. And this is a dewy lip tint with jojoba oil and vitamin E. Stains the skin, it says. So this is going to give you kind of like a glass-like shine, and then that tends to wear off, and then you're left with a stain afterwards, which I do like products like that. And just based off of reading about the description on this, it kind of sounds very similar to the NYX Lip IVs, where it's glossy and it feels like a gloss, has that nice shine, but once that wears off, you're left with a stain, which is great for a busy person who puts this on in the morning, and all you have to do is just put a clear balm, clear lip gloss on top, and you can proceed with your day and not have to touch up every single step of your lip product combination for the day. So I do like this. So let's start with something else. This is going to stain my lips and may alter the way these other products look. So let's go ahead and start with this double-ended product. And let me show you the swatch of that double-ended product. So the wider swatch is the lipstick, and then the thinner one is the lip liner. So the lip liner is going to be a little bit more tan, a little bit more brown. And then the lipstick has like a kind of rosy tone to it, just slightly peachy a little bit. That's the lip liner shade from the Always Together. And I just like how this feels when you hold it. It's nice. And we're going to go ahead and apply this. Ooh. Yeah, it's a little bit more peachy than I thought. And here's the lipstick side. What do you think? I actually like it. I think it's a little bit more peachy than I thought based off of the photos online on their website. I do like how comfortable this is. I only ordered one shade because I'm not a matte lip kind of gal. I like gloss, I like shine, but this feels very comfortable, very hydrating. It's a very interesting formula. And as you can probably see, it doesn't look dry. It doesn't look like it sucked the life out of my lips and left me with dry lips. It feels very comfortable, very smooth. I can definitely wear this again. Even though it says a matte lipstick, I was thinking that it was going to be a little bit drier, but it's not. And I'm very happy about that. And I love that double-ended component. I think it keeps it simple, keeps it easy. For the everyday person, this is perfection because it's just all in one and you don't have to do anything else. You can top it with a gloss or a lip balm, but honestly, you don't really need it. It is incredibly stunning on the lips and it doesn't look like it's settling into the lines of my lips either. I feel like it's a beautifully done formula. And I'm so impressed and I'm happy about it. I think this is so far one of my top favorite products from today's video. Now, of course, we got to do some glitter, okay? So I thought it would be kind of cool to top this lip combination with some glitter because some people may put something on top of something like this, a liner and a lipstick. I typically do a 3-step lip combo daily, so let's go ahead and go in with this shade. Diamonds Made Me Do It, number 040. And the applicator is a pointed doe foot with a little hole in the center, like a little reservoir that's holding the product. That point is ideal for getting right around the lips and get really close to the edge of your lip line, and just the application of it, I think it's nice. There is a little bit of a kind of like a vanilla cake batter scent to it. Really, really nice. So let's stop talking about it and put this on. I'm so excited. Oh. Stop. Okay, wow. I need a mirror. Oh, that's so pretty. And that's Diamonds Made Me Do It. I love how this looks. It just kind of amped up the glossiness, of course, because it's a gloss formula. The sparkle and the shine just makes the lips look fuller, juicier. It feels so smooth. You don't feel any of the glitter when you're rubbing your lips together. It feels hydrating. It's a little bit thinner, but it's not too thick, and it's not super thin where it's going to disappear. I love this. I absolutely love these two together. I fear I have found my new go-to glitter lip combo because this is beautiful. Now, you probably want to see what this looks like on its own, so let me wipe this off and put this back on so you can see just this on its own. Stop. Right? Okay. This is the Diamond Glaze and Diamonds Made Me Do It. When you get really close, you see the pink glitter. You also see kind of like a coppery orange tone to it. It is so pretty. There are some lighter shades, and I think there's a few that might be a little bit more pigmented. I try to take off as much as that other product as I could so you can see just this on its own, and it does have some pigment, but let me swatch it on my hand so you can see that. Look at the glitter on that. Seriously? Who wouldn't like that? If you like glitter, I think I just found your new favorite glitter gloss. You're welcome. And when you go to take it off, you're still left with glitter on your lips. So that means that once this glitter fades and the formula goes away, you still have sparkly lips, which is really cool, but not ideal when you have to swatch more products. I'm going to try to take some more of this off, and then I'm going to show you what this looks like directly applied with hopefully not as much glitter underneath. Here is the Glass-like Dewy Lip Tint in Happy Lips, Happy Life. There is quite a bit of a thinness to this formula. It goes on very hydrating and very cooling, almost exactly like the lip IVs from NYX. The applicator is a doe foot, but it is a paddle shape that looks like that with a rounded edge to it. And let me swatch this because this is actually quite pigmented. I do have some glitter underneath, so I wanted you to be able to see what that looks like on its own, just like this. It's actually a really pretty shade, but it's much, much brighter than I expected. And I like that because I'm going to pat this off to see what the stain is like, and then we're going to work on some eye looks for the day. So I like how intense it looks. I probably won't leave it like this because this is quite a bit out of my comfort zone. Even though it's a beautiful kind of fuchsia pink shade, it's bright, it's bold, it's perfect for spring and summer. I'm excited to see what the stain is going to be like because I can see myself using this again if I like the stain aspect underneath. But this is pretty. It's glossy, but it's very thin, feels very cooling when you put this on. And when you press your lips, it feels quite cold. Very strange, but interesting. I do like. While I let this lip tint hang out for a little bit so it continues to stain my lips, I'm going to show you some of the new eyeshadow products that they've recently released. They have 2 new cream shadows. These are the Metallic Spark Cream Shadows. There's only 2 shades in this range, and those are the swatches there. Look how intense those colors are. Whoa. You see how pigmented those are? It's creamy, it's moussey. It honestly feels a lot like my cream eyeshadows, the Eyes to Mesmerize from Charlotte Tilbury. It has that very moussey, very intense metallic finish. And the lightest shade is called Champagne Chic, which is this one right here. And then this one that's a little bit darker, like almost like an antique bronze with a hint of an olivey tone is called Diamond Dust, which I'm not quite sure why they would call it Diamond Dust, but Okay, it's still pretty. I like these types of shades, but like I said, it's a little bit more of like an antique bronze. They also have some new palettes. This is the Dark Cocoa Eyeshadow Palette. And I do remember liking their eyeshadow formula. I had like a small 5-pan palette that I used for their one brand, and it was actually very nice, very pigmented. And these colors are definitely up my alley. Let me show you some of the mattes in the eyeshadow palette. Look at how intense they are. Incredibly pigmented, so soft. Like, this is even better feeling than the other eyeshadows that I had from the Catrice brand that I actually do like. But these are some of the shades. Now, there is a lighter shade. I'll try to do that one on my thumb. Looks like that. And these are the 3 shimmer shadows that are in the palette. So these are a little bit more bronzy, and then this one is a little bit more of like a yellowy kind of golden bronze shade. I personally like these 2 shades better. I'm not a huge fan of 2 like gold type of shades on myself. They're really pretty when you use them on a look, but not my favorite shade. But these 2 are definitely really pretty. And that's these 2 right here that look a little bit more kind of bronzy. This one looks a little bit more taupey. This one has like that kind of bronze look, which I love a good bronze eyeshadow. That's those 2 shades there. And then let's just go ahead and swatch it like that so you can see what that looks like. They do have a little bit of a sparkle to it. And then let me show you that other one there. It's a little bit more of a warmer kind of rusty bronze type shade. Super pretty, very soft, very creamy. Let's do a quick eye look for today. I'm going to start with this shade right here with a big fluffy brush. And I'm going to apply that right over my lids from inner corner to outer corner and up towards the crease. I'm going to stick with the same brush, and I'm going to go over to this shade here that's a little bit more of a kind of warm tan shade. Several shades darker, but it's not the deepest shade in the palette. I'm going to run that color right into my crease. And I'm just kind of blending back and forth, following the natural shape of my eye. I'm not doing anything too difficult with the eyeshadows, and look at how pigmented that color is. It's blending out really, really nicely. Same shade, same brush. I'm going to sweep that under the lower lashes just real quick to add a hint of color underneath. Switching to a Profusion ES1 brush, I'm going to go into one of the deeper shades, and it's this one here, one of the larger pans. It's like a nice deep chocolate brown. It's not as dark as this one. This is more of like an espresso brown. This one would be great for outer V work or liner. I'm going to go into this shade right here, and I'm going to slowly build the intensity in my crease with this color. Same shade, smaller brush for the lower lashes. I'm going to stick to that same brush, and now I'm going to go to the deeper shade here, which is the next larger pan. This is that espresso brown. I'm going to use this to create a more smoky under eye area right over the top of that first shade that I applied. And I'm going to keep this really close to the base root of my lashes. And then with a small detail pencil style brush, this is a BK Beauty 207, I'm going to blend this out with no product on my brush at the moment. And to help me blend that shade out just a little bit, now I am going to go into some color. I'm going to go into that first shade that I used to build my crease. Same little brush there. Tapping off the excess, and I'm going to go right underneath those darker shades on the lower lashes. I'm going to take that same brush with that same dark color that I used to deepen things up on the lower lashes. I'm going to start using that shade to deepen the root of my upper lashes, and I'm just going to rock that brush back and forth. And I'm going to do this in steps by adding a little bit at a time to create a smokiness really close to my lashes. And I'm going to make it just slightly thicker on this outer edge and thinner as I work towards the inner part of my eye. And it is okay if it's a little bit thick and messy. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to go back into one of my crease brushes that I used earlier to blend and soften this as I go. And I'm not putting any additional product onto my brush either. And all you have to do is just take your time. Add a little bit, go back to your blending brush and soften it. So at the end, everything looks blended. For the lids, you have 3 options in this palette. I'm going to go into this shade right here, and I'm going to use my fingers to apply that on the lids. And I'm going to start on the inner part of my eye, and I'm just going to tap. Look how pretty that is. Yes, love that. And this is the completed eye look. I don't have a new eyeliner mascara from Catrice that I purchased, so I just pulled one from my collection. I use a dark brown liquid liner and then a black mascara. And I do really like how this turned out. The shadows blended out beautifully. It's a nice kind of warm, bronzy, smoky eye that's very easy to recreate at home. If you buy this palette, I think you'll be really impressed with the quality, the pigmentation, the blend, the shade options. I just love these types of tones, these kind of smoky browns and bronzy tones. And that is the look for the day. And I'm very pleased with it. I'm very happy with everything so far concerning the eye area and the eyeshadows. Now the lip, I did have that lip stain on the Dewy Lip Tint, the glass-like one, and I just took this off, but it actually is quite bright, the stain, right? It doesn't go with the eyes, I already know that, but I wanted to point out that by putting this on with the leftover glitter, actually gave me glitter lips, like so pretty. I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see that on camera. I can tone this down, because this pink definitely is not it for this look. Let's go back in with a little bit more of this, and let's just do just a little bit. There you go, just a hint. Can you tell I'm excited about this glitter lip product? So overall, I have to hand it to Catrice. I'm very impressed with all of the formulas and the products. They all performed beautifully today. I don't have not one single product that was an absolute no. There are no duds in this video, so that's 2 thumbs up, and I'm so pleased about that. The complexion looks radiant and healthy, but it's not greasy, it's not oily. Everything blended beautifully, one after the other. No issues with the blend. The eyeshadows are beautiful. The lip products were really great. You know how I feel about that glitter lip product by now. The only one product that was kind of meh was the glitter from the Diamond Haze, because I don't like a lot of glitter specks in my highlighter, and that's what I use this product for today. But still, from a distance, it's very glowy and it's beautiful. The formula itself is so cool, so unique. It's like playing with putty, and I will use it again. It's just like not something I'm gonna do every single day. So it's not a bad product, not a bad formula by any means. I still really like it. And then of course I still have to use these cream shadows. Maybe we can incorporate this into a future tutorial. If you want to see that, let me know, so that I can definitely put these out of my vanity to use the next time I film a tutorial for eye looks. I can use these and kind of incorporate them, maybe compare them formula wise to the Charlotte Tilbury. After everything is all said and done, the makeup is looking good. The makeup is looking fabulous, and I love how everything is just blended. It's dewy, it's ethereal, it's sparkly. I hope you enjoy. Thank you so much for spending some of your day here with me today. Everything is going to be listed and linked for you down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I post every Tuesday and every Friday. You can also follow me on socials. All the information you need is down below. Share with me your thoughts on these products. Have you tried them yet? What do you have your eye on? I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for being here. Take care, you guys. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.